Pronomes interrogativos. Question words that we have in Portuguese. We have here a long list of question words. Question words are always challenging for students. In Portuguese or in English, doesn't matter. Every time you're learning a new language, it's always hard to ask questions. Let's check which question words we have. The first one is quem. So this U here is silent. So quem. Quem, it means who. So quem é este senhor? So who is this gentleman? The answer is ele é o amigo do professor. So he is the friend of the teacher. So quem is definitely who. Then we have como. Como, it's how. 99% of the cases, como it's how. But in this case, we have como é que ele se chama. So this is word by word. How is that he calls himself? But the right way to ask this is like, what's his name, right? So again, como, it's 99% of the cases is how, but this, and I believe it's the only exception. You'll translate in English like what, what's his name? But again, word by word, this is how is that he calls himself. As you can see, we have this é que in brackets, and you're probably asking yourself, why do you have this é que in brackets? We have it because this is completely optional. We use it a lot, so it's lots of different questions, and lots of different questions. As you can see here, onde é que, quando é que, so we use it a lot. I could also use it here, quem é que é este senhor. This é que is just to emphasize, just to make this, in this case, this question stronger. We use this é que not only with questions, but also with statements. This is what a book will tell you, that we use this é que to emphasize. However, if you have a Portuguese friend and if you ask him or her, what's the difference between como ele se chama or como é que ele se chama? People will say to you that it's exactly the same, okay? And they don't know how to explain the fact that we use this é que. So what I'm trying to say to you is that if you check a book, that book will tell you that this is a structure that used to emphasize the question. But honestly, for us, it's exactly the same. We don't even feel it like that. So with or without, it's exactly the same. Just get ready because we use this é que a lot. The answer is ele chama-se Peter, so he calls himself Peter, or his name is Peter. Then qual. Qual é a profissão do Peter? Qual is usually what when you translate qual to English, okay? In English, you guys always have this problem that you very often you don't know if you have to use what or which. It's always a bit messy. I don't teach English, so I'm not going to explore that. What I can say to you is that when you translate qual, when you're translating to English, more often you'll get what. And as you can see here, and this is a very important information, in Portuguese, after qual, you have to use a verb. Okay, so qual é, and this will help you a lot. So this is qual é a profissão do Peter? So what is the profession of Peter? What's Peter's profession? And the answer is ele é músico, so he is a musician. Then we have que, and que, when you translate to English, more often you'll get which, okay? But after que, as you can see, we have a noun. So que instrumento toca, like which instrument he plays. So if you remember that after qual you have a verb in Portuguese, and after que you have a noun, this information will help you a lot. Okay, you just have to check what word that comes after the question word. If it is a verb, it's qual. If it is a noun, it's que that you have to use. Okay, so which instrument he plays? Ele toca violoncelo, so he plays cello. Then we have this question word, or these 4 question words. We have quantos, quantas, quanto, and quanta. So let's see. Quantos gatos ele tem? How many cats he has? So word by word, I'm translating word by word. So as you can see, this noun here is masculine plural, so we use quantos. So the question word is in accordance with the gender and the number of this noun here. Ele tem três gatos. He has three cats. Three male cats. And then quantas gatas ele tem? So how many female cats he has? Ele tem três gatas. So now we're dealing with gatas, female plural, so the question word is quantas. Quanto dinheiro ele tem? How much money he has? So we use quanto because dinheiro is singular and masculine. And quanta água ele tem? So how much water he has? So água it's feminine singular, so we use quanta. So if you're dealing with the word how many or how much, and then if you have a noun, don't forget that this question word must be in accordance with the gender and the number of this noun. And the answer is ele tem 2 litros, so he has 2 liters. However, when you use the same question word or this question word quanto with a verb, this is different, okay? In terms of grammar, this is a different thing, but we don't have to go so deep. Let's try to help you. The most important thing is that you use this correctly. So quanto é, how much is, or quanto são, how much are. So you're going to use quanto é if what comes after is singular. So quanto é café? So how much is one coffee? And quanto são 2 cafés? How much are 2 coffees? So we use é or são. It depends on what follows, okay? If it is singular, we use é. If it is plural, like 2 cafés, we use são. And then it's the same logic for this verb custar. Custar is to cost. So quanto custa, how much costs. Or quanto custam. Again, if it is singular, like café, you use custa. If it is plural, like 2 cafés, you use custam. And as you can see, the question word here, if you have a verb after it, it's invariable. It never changes, okay? Then, onde. Onde is where. So, onde é que ele mora? So, where is that he lives? Again, you don't have to use this é que just to make it stronger. And the answer is ele mora em Lisboa. So, he lives in Lisbon. And then quando? Quando é que regressas a Lisboa? So when is that you return to Lisbon? Eu regresso amanhã. So I return tomorrow.